Hey guys, how are you? In some other parts of the video I talked that I was working with templates and stuff like that to do some recording, and now it's time to tell you how do I when it gets time to record something, what's the process that I go through. First of all, I'm in the control room here and the drum kit is over there. So you can see drum kit is over there. So basically what I do is that I make sure that all my stuff here are on my interface. I make sure that the volume are on, that all the settings are good, and then I increase the volume here for the headphones that goes through that little headphone amp, and then with cables it goes into the control room. So I got the big screen TV beside the drum kit I showed you previously. Well, what I do is that I got that little splitter here. So what I do is that I go to the next screen. So as you can see, that one is blank, and then the signal goes on the big screen TV. So the only thing I have to do here is to slide my mixers into the other screen, and then I'm going over here. I'll put some lights here, and I'm just going to move the headphones out of there. And as you can see on the screen here, I got all my mixer. I'm just going to set up there we go. So what I do basically is that I just set up my mixer here. So I move this one over there. Then I get my, the one here, the bottom one is my recording mixer. So I make sure that I got a good view here of those little square at the bottom there. There we go. Right here. Can see my finger here. There we go. So there's some little mixer, there's some little square there. There we go. So you see mono 4 here. So there's a little square there. So if something peaks, that's going to show there. So I want to make sure that I can see that. The other mixer on top of it, I'm going to reset my... The other mixer on top of it is my playback. So what I do is that I put it sideways and I got all my track fill here. So what I'm going to do is that usually I just bring that up a little bit so I can see the bottom of the other mixer, and then I make sure that, see, I got my headphone mixer here. So headphone mixer, track fill, mixer underneath is recording mixer, and then I got my playback mixer just when I play my track back. So basically what I do is that I just press record and I'm playing the song, and right from here, okay, like you can see, I got the keyboard and the mouse here. So I just play the song, I just record. Then if I know that the track is not good, I just don't bother about it. I just, delete it and redo another one. When I think that I got something good, basically what I do is that I bring back my playback mixer, I increase the volume on it, and then I just listen to it. and see if it sounds decent. If it sounds decent, good. If it's not, well, I can do another one. It doesn't matter. Usually on the playback mixer, when I record, of course, all the volume should be down. All the volume should be down because I'm gonna have kind of a delay in it. So if I leave those volume up, I'm gonna have like a delay in it, like the sound will come back like a delay, you know, or an echo, and you don't want that when you record. You want to hear everything on the time that you record it, you know. So usually those volume are all down. Now they're up because I'm gonna play something in the next part of the video so you can hear everything. But that's pretty much how I do it. You know, it's there's nothing to, right? So there we go. Gonna put it there. So okay, let's say that what I wanted to say is that there's nothing complex in it. Once it's all good and going, when everything is plugged, it's just a matter of doing it, you know, and repeating and stuff like that. So for me now, it's kind of, it's I don't have to think about how I work the system. I just press the button, press record, and I just have to worry about when I'm playing on the drums. That's it. So I don't want to have to worry about if there's a glitch in my system. I don't want to have to think about that. I want to make sure that everything is fine. The only thing that I have to do, make sure is that I got a good sound when I do a sound check and stuff like that. And then once it's done, I just worry about playing the best drum track possible. That's it. That's all. So once I got a track that I'm okay with, I'm happy, I'm glad with that one. So I want to bring it back on the computer, on the screen in the control room. So basically what I do is that I make sure that all my mixer are sliding, a little bit like that. Then I'm going back into the control room. See, I'm just gonna adjust the there we go. So I just slide my mixers in. There we go. And then I grab my little splitter here. Then I bring it back to my screen that I got here. And then boom, et voila, there we go. So I can take because once I'm done recording, I don't really need my my headphone mixer anymore, because I'm gonna go with that mixer, the playback mixer, where I adjust the levels and stuff like that. So that's how it is. Then I gotta slide that little one here, and then there we go. I just extend my tracks here, and then I start to work the sound or the editing that I have to do. But usually I try not to have to do too much editing. I try to get the song from beginning to the end when it's possible. Editing is if I have to punch in and punch out a part of the song. If I had, let's say, to redo a section, well, that's where I'm gonna cut and, you know, adjust the section that I redid or that we play into the track. So but usually I try to get it done from beginning to the end in one shot. It's always better that way for the feel too and for the sound. So but it's not always possible. So when it's not always possible, you know, I mean, you do a punch in, punch out. As long as it's well edited, it's good, you know. So, and of course, as long as you play with the same volume and the same intensity of the rest of the song, that's really important too. So, but it's more technical regarding what you play. Here, this video is to show you how my system, my studio is working. You know, how the One Eye Cat studio is working. So I'm going to take a little break, and then we're going to go and listen to a track. Okay? See you. Okay. Now I'm going to play a part of... well, before that, I told you in a few minutes earlier how I record my stuff and how I work the other TV screen there just beside the drum kit. So I said basically I had to make sure that my adjustments were good here, and then everything was going through the headphone mixer and then in. So in the control room. So in the control room I got another one right here, which is a headphone amp, and then for the back near the drum, if you can see that little white cable that goes through there, it's going right here and it's plugged into that mixer here, and then out that mixer into the little mixer that I told you previously that I use as a headphone amp, you know. So that's how I got sound on this side of the room. So now, like I said, I'm gonna play a little something here, and usually when I play I play something, I do a little mix before I send the tracks. You know, that's a track from my friend Cleve in Montreal. I think I told you, yeah, I told you before. So that's one project that I'm working on, you know. So basically he sent me a bass track and a guitar track, and then I do the drums on it, then do a quick little mix, send him, and then if there's something that it would prefer to have or change, he sent me a text and said, hey, like it, but that little section, can you try something else there? And then I do it, and then do a little mix, send him, and then when he's yes, I'm happy, when he told me he's happy, so basically what I do is I just send him all the stems, the individual tracks, so we can get them. I put it in my Dropbox, give him access to the Dropbox, and then boom, he can open it on his system and mix his own stuff and redo his guitar or whatever he has to do on it. So that's basically how it works. It's very simple. It's nothing now with technology, with the internet and stuff like that. It's so easier to collaborate with other people that are in another part of the country or the world. So okay, so I'm gonna play it. Basically, when I play a track, like I said, it's not been released yet, so I'm gonna play the guitar a little bit, but really low in the mix. So what you're gonna hear is more drums and a little bit of click track in it, just to show you how it works. And then, of course, when I send him a mix, there's no click track on it. You know, I kill the click track. But when I listen to it here, I want to make sure that I'm on the click track, so I always put the click track a little bit in the back to make sure that it's all right, you know. So but I'm not gonna put the guitar too loud because nothing's been released yet, so I don't want to put his music out there when it's not copyright, or probably it's copyright, but if it's not released, I don't want to, you know, for you to hear it properly. So anyway, okay, so I'm gonna start it, put the guitar low, and then take a seat right here. track, it might be loud. So that's it. So you heard the drums, you know, and it's not final mix, of course. So basically what I did is that I did set the volumes for the drums. Want to make sure that you can, all right. So I did set up all the volumes for the drums. All the volumes, I put the effect and the EQ. As for effect, what I use for effect, I don't use a lot of effect. I use compressor for kick, snare, and overhead heads and room mic. That's it. The toms, I just EQ them. And you, sometime at the end of the mix, I'm gonna put another what they call a channel effect, like you can see. Right, I just want to make sure that I got a good. Right. Okay. Oops. There we go. So say here, effects for. So basically what I do is I take a little compressor and then I put it on all the tracks. That's why it's a effect track. So it works like a track. And if I want more compression, of course, you can go into the system and then set it up more or less for each individual track here. So, but when I got it well the way I want it, so what I can do is that I can play with the fader here, and if I want more or less, I go up and down, of course. So that's what I do. I use more compression. As for, like you heard when I was playing the song, basically you heard probably a reverb. The reverb is only applied on the room mic. So that's the room mic. So that's the one that I pan 360 degrees, and I'm gonna put the reverb only on that mic, not on the individual track of the drums. You know, I don't want to put too much effect, like I said. Yeah, all right. So see, that's where the drum kit is. That's where the room mic is. So basically about 7 to 8 feet away. And with the reverb, it gives the impression that, like I said previously, that the drum's been recorded in a larger room, and that's basically what I want to give the effect of. So that's it. I try to keep it as simple as possible. And of course, when I send the track to Cleve, or I do tracks for Shades of Sorrow, when I send it to get mixed, of course, I don't put anything on it. No effect, no compression, no EQs. I want to let the person who will mix the album deal with that, because if you record or you rip a track out of your computer, you send it as a WAV file with the effect or the EQ, the person that receives it cannot take it out. So you better not put anything, send it, and that person will put the compression and EQ it the way it should be done, you know. So you basically, I send the track flat. Like I told you previously, the speaker here are flat speakers. So there's no effect, no EQ, or no frequency in it. You know what I mean? So, unless I put the effect myself, then it's going to give me. Other than that, it comes out flat. That's it. So, that's what it is. That's basically what it is. It's a very simple setup that I got. It took years to kind of get it the way I wanted it, but now it's pretty much up and running. I use it pretty often, and I got actually some really good result out of it. Even when some band comes, and there's been a local band that came a couple of months ago to do a few songs for their album. It's a Moncton band, and they're gonna release it in the next few months, I think. So the system works perfect. The studio works perfect. You know, again. It's not $150 an hour recording studio, that's for sure. But I got some pretty good result on it with the equipment that I got and the building and the way I set it up. It's actually really decent. Other than that, well, microphones. Well, first of all, I set it up there, so you can see that blanket there. All right, so that's my vocal booth, homemade. So what I did is that I took a very thick blanket and I just set it up there with screws. There we go. So that gives you kind of a little, so when the singer is doing, he or she is doing their track, basically the sound is going into the blanket. It doesn't bounce around. So that's what you want, basically. Oh, I kicked something there. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right. So, and basically when I'm done, the only thing I do is that I just fold. Okay. Sorry about that, the timer went on my camera. Okay, so when I'm done recording vocals, so basically I just, there we go, that's it, and unscrew that little screw here and then fold it there, so it's not in the way when I don't use it. The microphone, well, I mean, Beta 52 for the microphone, a kick woofer, homemade kick woofer for the bass drum, front of the bass drum. Other than that, I got some ATM 63 Audio Technica microphone on top and bottom of the snare, top on the 12 inches tom and the 14 floor tom. Here I got a little CAD microphone. There we go. And for the 16 inches floor tom, I got a CAD bass drum microphone. So that big one here, that's a bass drum microphone. So I'm just gonna, there we go. So, and overhead, Rode M5, and the hi-hat, I got an Apex here. Same as this one, but this one, like I said previously, this is the microphone for when I record some videos there. It's a little Apex 185. They're doing a pretty good job actually for hi-hat and stuff like that. They're pretty good. That's an Apex too. And it's, sorry. So, yeah, that's it. That's my Apex for that's 415 condenser mic. For what it's not an expensive microphone, but for what I use it for, it does a really good job. For vocals, I got an AKG 214, which is a really good microphone actually, and I keep it for vocals. That's actually that little microphone that is right here in that case. There we go. So that's the one. That's the little microphone that I use. Wait, I'm gonna adjust the. There we go. If you can see it, I'm just gonna adjust the. There we go. So AKG 214 C214. It's a pretty good microphone for vocal. I keep it in its case when I don't use it because I just use it for vocals. And other than that, I got some other little microphone here, the condenser mics, and you know, so I got a bunch of microphones, but I pretty much stick for what's working the best for what I have to do, you know. So if people ask me, why do you have a let's say a Audio-Technica ATM 63 on the 12 inches thumb, and I have a little CAD on the 10. That's because I tried the ATM on the 10 and it wasn't working as good. The CAD was working better, so I tried 2 or 3 microphones. I even tried a condenser mic, and the little CAD was the microphone that sounded the best, you know. So, and like I said, I always put them maybe 2.5 inches up above the drum, and as you can see, you know, they're not directly stick on the toms, you know. So there we go. So I got plenty of attack, but the microphone basically point as much as possible to the center of the drum, so I got a good resonance in it. So it's just another way of miking, but for me, the way I tune the drums and stuff like that, I think that it works better. That's what gives me the best result on toms and stuff like that. So that's it. So that's I don't think I forgot anything. I pretty much got everything. So that was the tour of the One Eye Cat studio here that I got in Memramcook, New Brunswick. And if you're interested, come and look at it, or you want to do some recording at good quality and reasonable price, well, I mean, you can send me a message, you know, and we can actually probably will be able to work something out. So this is my studio, this is my setup, and that's it. That's what it is. So again, if you have any question, just send me a message and ask me your question so I can give you an answer. Okay? Take care. See you next time. Bye bye.